As always at Coyce, not all the events were for Grand Prix cars. The sports and GT races provided plenty more great entertainment. A few weeks before the festival, Jackie Stewart had been elected as the new president of the BRDC, this at one of the most critical periods in the club's history.
I think the goals of the British Racing Drivers Club may have changed mildly in the eyes of some people, but I think this institution that we sit in right now is a great representation of British motorsport and the type of people who, since the late 20s, who founded and started it, have been able to grow the club in importance to, it's the only drivers club in the world that has its own Grand Prix circuit and has facilities such as we're experiencing this weekend.
Rod Jolly won the first of the two pre-1966 Grand Prix car races this weekend. The second is about to get underway. This for the Innis Ireland Trophy. The lights go to green and away they go. Good start then by Rod Jolly in the ex-Jack Brabham Cooper, but he's outgunned there by John Beasley's Blue Brabham. Down they go towards Cops Corner for the first time. Somebody in trouble already, look, they're pulling off onto the grass as this enormous field pours its way into the right-hander. Number 2 there swinging his way through, Jeremy Agates with the latest 24. But the race leaders now power their way on up towards Maggott. John Beasley in the lead. The ex-Bib Stillwell Brabham it is up front, but going through behind him in second place there, Paul Alexander. There recovering after a spin is Alan Bailey, taking over the car that Martin Bahrain drove in the first race, and number 24 out as well is Ted Rollison. So John Beasley leads, Rod Jolly in second place now. He's moved himself ahead of the BRM, and Rod Jolly absolutely hurling that Cooper around for all he is worth, just as we saw in the earlier race. Number 35 there has had a spin, that's Roy Walter living up to his name as the leaders turn their way through Abbey. Paul Alexander there going through in his BRM, going great guns in this second race, as now Rod Jolly goes for the lead and through he goes. Dives down, under braking for Bridge, you've got to be brave to get past there, and Rod Jolly is. Through he goes then, up front. Rod Jolly, the coach builder, leads. In second place is John Beasley in the Blue Brabham there, trying to come back at the Cooper if he can. They turn through Brooklands, Paul Alexander in third place, and now they accelerate their way on up towards Duffield. Now the other man to watch in this race is Frank Sittner there going through in number 4. Remember, Frank Sittner retired from the first race. He has started 40th on the grid, and Sittner in the John Coombs Brabham BT4 is storming up through the field. They're going through in number 16 is Barry Williams, taking over David Wenman's BRM. That car wrecked in 1964 by Graham Hill of all people. But Barry Williams keeping out of trouble. There behind him, number 23, Andrew Smith with his Cooper, the T43, turning now through Priory and dropping down towards Brooklands. And there's somebody off there, look, dust settling, car in the gravel, is Jeremy Agates off in the Lotus 24. That car will need to be snatched out of the gravel trap, I would have thought, as now Rod Jolly is under pressure for that lead. John Beasley coming back at him in the straight line, and the Brabham easily saunters past. The Brabham BT4 goes ahead of the Cooper. Rod Jolly trying to fight back though, almost being squeezed onto the grass there. Big moment for Rod Jolly. Trying to go around the outside, look at the opposite lot there being applied. Working hard behind the wheel, Paul Alexander now looking for a way past, and then fourth is John Harper in the ex-Stirling Moss Cooper. Alexander goes second, Rod Jolly fighting back though. He's going to try the outside line coming through Club. It's not going to work, is it? Surely. He's going to have a good go. The Cooper there sliding. It hasn't got the poise of the BRM. All over the curves goes Rod Jolly. It's great to watch. The BRM though up into second place now in the hands of Paul Alexander. John Harper goes third there. The two Coopers switch order. John Harper goes ahead. Down they come. The T51 ahead of the T45/51. And here's the replay. Rod Jolly on the outside line, keeps his foot in, just runs out of road. The back of the car steps out. He goes all over the curb, sorts himself out, leaves the gap for John Harper. And there is Rod Jolly, look, number 27. Loads of smoke now coming out of the back of that car. He's got a problem. He's going to have to head for the pit lane, surely. John Harper is ahead of him as they come now out of Luffield. Rod Jolly going for the inside of the spin. It's Paul Alexander. He's lost it. Rod Jolly hits him. Damages the left rear of the car there. That's broken the suspension. Paul Alexander is out with broken front left suspension. And Rod Jolly crabs his way over the line. Now look at Rod Jolly there. Stands on the brakes. Lots of tyre smoke. Locks up just. Can't avoid Paul Alexander. Does his best but slides into him. Two damaged cars, the result. Frank Sittner there, storming his way over the line. He's worked his way now up into 4th place, would you believe, from, remember, 40th on the grid. Wonderful drive this by Frank Sittner. He likes to fight. He's had one in this race. The two BRMs there turning through. Dickie Atwood just ahead of Barry Williams. Dickie Atwood now powering his way onto the Hanger Straight, working his way past the slower cars there, just dodging round the outside of number 31, Peter Gooch with his Cooper. Down they come, in towards Stowe. Dickie Atwood, Grand Prix racer for BRM, but there is the man on target to win the race now, John Beasley. He was second in part 1, he's going to win part 2, and that will net him the Innis Ireland Trophy. A former president, of course, of the BRDC. The much-missed Innis Ireland, I think, would have approved of that drive. There is the checkered flag. John Beasley, the winner, coming home just clear of John Harper in the Cooper in 2nd place as they make their way over the line. Coming home for 3rd, though, Chris Smith with his ex-Innis Ireland Lotus 21. And Frank Sittner is going to hang on to finish in 4th place. A remarkable drive up from 40th on the grid. Still there are battles coming across the line. There is Frank Sittner now in the yellow Brabham, making his way up past the checkered flag. A great race, won by John Beasley, clear by 7.5 seconds from John Harper. Chris Smith 3rd. Tremendous performance by Frank Sittner to net 4th ahead of the BRMs of Dickie Atwood and Barry Williams. So John Beasley wins the Innis Ireland Trophy for Pre-66 Grand Prix and Tasman cars.
With the racing over, a final chance to reminisce with 3 of the greatest British names from the history of Formula One, each with their own special emotional memories of Silverstone, starting with Murray Walker and his last British Grand Prix for the BBC.
And the drivers came out of the briefing to get in the cars, and to my surprise, they didn't get in the cars. They came and formed a circle round me, through which Michael Schumacher emerged, carrying a Jeroboam of champagne, which they had all signed. And he said, "Murray, we know this is your last British Grand Prix for the BBC, so we've all signed this for you." But it wasn't Michael Schumacher that thought of it, it was Bernie Ecclestone. Now Bernie is thought of as a very hard, ruthless, determined man, and he is all of those things, but he's also got a heart of gold, and that was a manifestation of it, and it's my fondest memory.
It's Silverstone. Your worst memory of here?
I suppose taking Abbey Curve flat in a C-type Jag and it turning upside down is one of them. Having complete brake failure on another one was not too good.
In the BRM?
And yes, in the BRM. I put my foot on the brake, there was nothing. That was pretty exciting. But most of my memories of this place are terrific.
I was going to say, the best, the greatest memory of Silverstone.
I suppose actually winning the Formula League race, I think in '59, the pouring rain when I lapped the entire field. That probably was one of my greatest achievements.
I raced and I won for the crowd as much as I raced for the team and won for myself. And I said earlier today that, you know, racing in England and doing well, you're just on a win-win situation because people pay a lot of money to come and support motor racing, and I was very conscious of that, and as you know, I gave a lot of my time to the crowd and to sign autographs and to talk with them, and I think if I can give them a great day out, and they helped me drive faster. I responded, we had a chemistry where, you know, they got behind me, it made me go quicker, and it was, it's great. People power.